Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher this week is Jeff Foster. And today he speaks about what it is that creates true inner freedom. Danae, a very good morning. Sunmari, good morning. Linda, good morning. Hello, beautiful human beings. Let's get into today's message. What does the road look like towards finding peace from internal conflict? Do we need difficult emotions to disappear so that we can become free from those experiences? Or do we need to find a different way to understand our inner world, a different relationship with those inner experiences? Jeff Foster suggests no more wrestling with negative thoughts or desperately trying to outrun uncomfortable feelings. A life where every thought, every feeling is welcomed with open arms. The first thought from Jeff Foster is, what you really long for is a deep intimacy with your own experience, the deepest acceptance of every thought, every sensation, every feeling, and that cannot come from outside of yourself. He says a deep intimacy with your own experience, having acceptance for every thought and every feeling. In different words, it could also be translated to not rejecting any part of yourself, but having your arms open to every part of yourself. The next quote from Jeff Foster is, stop trying to heal yourself, fix yourself, even awaken yourself. Stop trying to fast forward the movie of your life. Let go of letting go. Healing is not a destination. Your pain, your sorrow, your doubts, your longings, your fearful thoughts, they are not mistakes, and they are not asking to be healed. They are asking to be held. Here, now, lightly and lovingly, in the healing arms of present awareness. Your dark and fearful thoughts are not a mistake, but a natural part of the human experience, so there's no need to doubt yourself for having them. They're not asking to be healed, they're asking to be held in healing arms. The last quote from Jeff Foster for today is, feelings that have been pushed away do not actually disappear. They live on in the darkness of the unconscious, pulling the strings in our relationships, in our work, our self-expression, causing us to become reactive, compulsive, obsessive, depressed, anxious, and deteriorate our physical health until one day we remember all feelings have a right to exist. So we stop numbing ourselves and we feed them love, attention, curiosity, and presence, and now they can finally come to rest. It's understandable that we could have thoughts and feelings that scare us, that make us feel uncomfortable. And it's understandable too that our instinctive reaction might be to try and avoid these scary feelings, to push them away in an attempt to feel less scared or uncomfortable. The reality is, though, that feelings that are pushed away don't actually go away. They stay below the surface, and they pull the strings of our lives forever until we find a more helpful way of dealing with them. Jeff Foster's advice in this last quote is to really look at those feelings and allow them to speak. Listen to them with curiosity and give them your attention and your love. You can come to a better understanding of why those feelings exist. And then you can build a new relationship with these emotions and give them a space where they're not trapped in your subconscious, unconsciously pulling the strings of your life. This deep intimacy with your own experience, this is wholeness, because no part of you is being rejected any longer. This brings an end to the inner war. This creates true inner freedom. So if you're ready, Our meditation today is called A Sense of Self, and it is an opportunity to invite those inner children to come and sit with us for a while and allow them to speak and make sure they know that we are listening. And we're not going to be trying to heal them, but we will be holding them in healing arms. Today's example are sadness, anger, and fear. Today, these are the three inner children we're inviting for a conversation: sadness, anger, and fear. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up the balloon in your belly with air, feel yourself grow from that space, from your core outwards in all directions. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. we are inviting some of our inner children to come and sit with us today. In my mind, this always looks like the grade 1 teacher calling the kids to come and sit around her on the carpet. Story time, or time for a conversation. The example we're using today, the inner children that we are inviting, are sadness, the part of you that sometimes feels sad. We're inviting anger, the part of you that sometimes feels angry. And we're inviting fear, the part of you that sometimes feels scared. Invite sadness, anger, and fear to come and sit with you. And as you continue your full body breathing, invite them to breathe along with you. Just imagine you could see their bodies rise and fall along with yours. And then I might ask this a few more times. See if you can form an image of what anger looks like, what sadness looks like, and what fear looks like. There's no way to get this wrong. And I know that it's not always possible for us to see an actual image. The question is simply to open yourself to see what you can. But to form a sense of what sadness might look like, to form a sense of what anger might look like, to form a sense of what fear might look like. What we are creating, as Jeff Foster suggests, is our arms being open to all of these experiences within us. Giving each of these experiences a home within us. Instead of fighting them, instead of running from them, instead of trying to numb them. And then understanding who we are when we can have our arms open to these experiences. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. And ask these inner children to stretch out along with you. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles. In big, slow, half circles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the reminder is that we've invited these inner children to come and sit with us. We've invited sadness and anger and fear. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, remind these inner children that we are here to listen. Take your next big breath. We turn our attention first to sadness. A part of you that might sometimes feel sad. So as you take your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, we are inviting sadness to speak. In other words, remind yourself of what it feels like when you experience sadness. Remind yourself of what are some of the thoughts that go through your mind when you feel sad, and pay attention specifically to the repetitive nature of these thoughts. Our subconscious is a recording, and it tends to be that the same old thoughts are on repeat again and again. Right now, we're opening our arms to listening to these thoughts. Not becoming involved in a wrestling match with them, not trying to push them away or numb them or run from them. Sitting and listening to this inner child speaking. What does it feel like when I feel sad? Take your next big breath. And we're extending the conversation with sadness for just a little bit longer. I want you to ask sadness a question. Now here's where it's helpful to have an image of what sadness might look like, so you have something to direct your question at. ask the question and also just let the question go and see if you find an answer from sadness. The question is this. Looking at sadness, say, sadness, when you feel so sad, what is it that you're afraid will happen? What is it that you're afraid is going to happen? Then take your next big breath and listen. Again, using Jeff Foster's words, we are not trying to heal sadness. We're simply holding sadness in healing arms. We'll turn our attention now to anger, the part of you that sometimes feels angry. And as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we are inviting anger to speak. Remind yourself of what it feels like in your body when you are angry. What are the thoughts that go through your mind when you are angry? Pay attention specifically to the repetitive nature of these thoughts. Often the same words, the same sentences on repeat again. Clearly, this is a recording that plays over and over again. This is how our brains work. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, open your arms to this inner child speaking. There's no resistance, there's no fighting, there's no pushing away, there's just listening. Take your next big breath and listen. We're going to continue the conversation with anger just a little bit longer by asking anger a question. And here is where it's helpful to try and form an idea of what anger might look like, so that you have something to direct your question at. Can you ask the question, but also not be attached to the answer of this question? Just very lightly create a space in which anger might answer. So take a look at anger, and the question is this. Say, anger. When you feel so angry, in those moments when anger floods you, I get the sense that you're trying to protect me from something. You're trying to prevent something bad from happening. What are you trying to prevent? How is it that you're trying to protect me? Then take your next big breath and listen. We're not trying to heal anger, but we're holding anger in healing arms. And then we'll shift our attention towards fear, the part of you that perhaps sometimes feels scared. And now we're inviting this inner child to speak. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, remind yourself of what it feels like in your body when you experience fear. What are the thoughts that go through your mind when you feel scared? And again, notice the repetitive nature of these thoughts. How often is it the same words, the same sentences being repeated again and again? For the moment, we're just listening. Asking fear to speak and holding our arms open. Take your next big breath. Now we'll extend this conversation with fear just a little bit longer by asking this inner child a question too. See if you can form an image of what the scared part of you might look like. Then turn towards the scared part and say, fear, in those moments when you feel so scared, what is it that you deeply want for me? What is your deep desire for me? Take your next big breath and listen. And again, we're not trying to heal fear, but we are holding fear in healing arms. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself slipping all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Who do we become when we are in a battle with our inner experiences? Who do I become when I'm pushing back on sadness? Trying to suppress the feeling of anger? Trying to make the scared part of me feel like it should do better? When we become involved in a battle with our inner experiences, it is like stepping into a wrestling match with anything or anyone else. In that wrestling match, limbs are completely intertwined. Two bodies become one, which simply means every time we're in a battle with our inner experiences, we become the experience. There's no way to even see where the experience ends and you start. It's all just one. But who do we become when we can open our arms to the experience? When we can hold sadness and allow sadness to speak. When we can hold anger in healing arms. And even allow fear to be heard while its voice is loud. Who do we become when we open our healing arms? This part of me, the part of me with the healing arms, is clearly the strongest part of me. And when I'm no longer involved in a battle with my inner experiences, I'm living as the strongest part of me. I'll read to you one more time how Jeff Foster describes this. He says, what you really long for is a deep intimacy with your own experience. The deepest acceptance of every thought, every sensation, every feeling. And that cannot come from outside of yourself. He says, stop trying to heal yourself, fix yourself, or even awaken yourself. Let go of letting go. Healing is not a destination. Your pain, your sorrow, your doubts, your longings, your fearful thoughts, they are not mistakes. And they're not asking to be healed, they are asking to be held. He says, feelings that have been pushed away, they don't go away. They don't actually disappear. They live on in the darkness of the unconscious. Those old thoughts, they're pulling the strings in our relationships, our work, our self-expression, causing us to become reactive, compulsive, obsessive, depressed, anxious, and they deteriorate our physical health. Until one day we remember that all feelings have a right to exist in us. So then we stop numbing ourselves and we feed them love, attention, curiosity, and presence. And now they can finally come to rest. You are living your way into the strongest part of you. The part of you that has healing arms, able to hold any of these inner children when they cry. And by holding, by listening, by being present, they finally settle down. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to hold my arms open to all of these inner children. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that being able to listen to these inner voices speak is not the same as giving them power. It is the exact opposite. It's when we fight with these inner children that the energy only grows. It is when we hold that the energy settles down. Take a deep breath in. I am reminded of the beautiful words of Amoda Ma when she says, "None of these inner things scare me anymore, because nothing is in the dark when I bring them into the light." Take a deep breath in. Thank you for growing into strong, healing arms, able to hold every part of you that needs attention, able to listen to every inner child when it's calling out, needing to be heard. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for growing into the strongest part of you. Hey, Pepe. Lots of love to you, to your whole family, to Mitchell specifically. He will heal quickly. Thank you, Almare. It's good to see you. Good morning. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Charlene. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.